Hey there, creatives. I'm Rita Barakat, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing things a little bit differently. The very first part of this video is in real time because I recorded it live on Mixed Media Monday, which I do every Monday night on Facebook, and I would love it if you would join me there. So let's get started. Hopefully you can see this good. All right, so this is in the shop. We have these banners, and they come plain. And this is one idea that I had that you could do, like, you know, you could do your own state and do a project that way. The other thing that you can also do, whoops, hold on one second. And I know it's backwards because for some reason, Facebook shows everything backwards, which is really weird. Oh, you're Brenda's daughter. Hi, honey. Hi. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do. You could, if you have stencils or if you have stamp letters or if you have a Cricut or something, you could cut out little vinyl stickers, and then you can, this is actually a glitter paste. So you can use a glitter paste, and mind you, it's canvas, it's thick, and it is, you can put any materials, any mixed media materials on here, and it will work. It will stick to the canvas, and you don't have to prime it or anything. So I thought this was a fun idea. This is the first project that I did when I got the banner, because I thought this would be so fun. This is one of my art foamy stamps that's in the shop. And not only did I stamped it, then I added, of course, some glitter, because, you know, a girl loves glitter, okay? And then I added a little bit of pink on top of the purple that I had stamped it with, just to give it a little pop. I added some ribbons at the top, and you know, if you're, you can glue these on too. You don't have to sew them on. You can sew them or glue them. I did glue them, and I glued this ribbon down the side, and then here you can see the bottom. I added some pennants to it, some little mixed media pennants you can see. It's too long for me to fit the whole thing in here. But I decorated each one, and then I just hung it. I've got it there, so that when it hangs, you can see that it hangs like that, right? So you have that little end hanging on the bottom, which is kind of fun. So that's another idea. So this is in the shop, and it actually comes like this, and you can paint it any way you want. I painted this one with blues and greens, and all I did was use acrylic paint. So any acrylic paint will do, works fantastic, or you can use markers, whatever you have. And I will say this, if you're going to have it outside, I would either one of two things. I would seal it, or I would use like a fabric paint that you can wash, like this one, this Fabric Creations from Plaid. This one can go through the washer, and so once you wash it once, so you don't have to worry about if you want to hang this outside, if it's going to bleed or anything like that. But most acrylic is pretty durable. So this one, it comes already done like this if you want. So this is in the shop, and Margie just put up the link. Thank you, she's so quick. It comes already done like this, or you can design your own, because these are my art foamy stamps, which I will show you in a minute. So here's that one. And then I did, this one's also in the shop, already done for people to color, because maybe they don't want to buy a bunch of stamps. It's fine too. So I made this one up with the unicorn. I decorated it here, and I'm not finished with it. I still need to do the clouds, and I want to add like some glitter in here too. So that's the idea. This is how it comes if you want to purchase that in the shop, or you can do it plain like this, and that's what we're going to work on tonight. So this is how it comes. So it either comes in the unicorn, the mermaid, or plain like this. What I love about this is it's already sewn for you. So all the edges are sewn. It has that little loop in here so that you can put it, your dowel through it, right? Or hang it on your garden banner outside. Hi, Mary. So you can decorate them yourself, or you can get one that's already stamped for you. And so tonight I'm gonna use all of my flower art foamy stamps. And I'm gonna use the ones with the faces because I like the faces. Now you may like the ones without the faces. They come with and without. So what you have is this, and it can go, like if you don't want to do the face, this one you can just flip it over, right? And do it that way. This one, because of the funny shape, it comes with 2 inserts. So it comes with a plain insert and then the face insert. And these are all in the shop. Okay, this one comes like this, and it has this to go on top, or it has the plain insert already in there that comes out. But I wanted to do all faces tonight. This is the sunflower, and again, you could do the face, or you can do it plain, like that, by flipping that over. So we're gonna work with bees tonight with these flowers. Move these aside. And we're also going to use these 2 leaves. These are also in the shop. Oh yeah, you're having a no. Oh, there's a storm where you live. That's a bummer. Yeah, I hope you don't lose power. If something gets funky, just try to go back out. So I'm gonna use just a couple of colors because my idea is to stamp it. And what's great about acrylic paint is that when you use acrylic paint, then you can go back and add to it and paint more over it, or you can use markers or whatever. Now, I'm not worried about this being outside, so I'm not going to use any special type of paint. I'm gonna use color shift. I grabbed 2 colors. This one is Purple Flash, and this one is Aqua Flash. So I'm gonna use these for the leaves and these for the flowers, because then I'm gonna go back and fill in the flowers with color. Now, again, remember that if you want to have it outside, then you wanna use products that are gonna be resilient to the weather, so like a fabric paint that you know can be washed, and make sure that you follow the instructions. So the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna put some color on my foam here. So this is the Stamp Buddy, and I'm just gonna add this paint on here, and hopefully, hoping that I have a card here to spread it. If not, a palette knife. Oh, here's a palette knife. I've got a palette knife right here. So now I'm going to use this to just kind of spread it, you know, so that it's not dripping. You don't want it to be dripping wet. You don't need that much paint, okay? All right. So, and there's my card right there. All right. So let's do the rose first. And I'm actually going to do this one separate because I've used this so often that it's a little loose. Yours would not be loose, but mine is. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this foam and we're going to cover our stamp. Look at that gorgeous color. Okay, so I'm making sure that everything is covered. These work with ink too. But what's nice is that you can use this for your, you know, your fabric projects, which is so fun. Okay, while that's there, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. This is the little face. I just didn't want it to fall out. It's like a puzzle piece. There we go. so that it goes in the right place. And make sure I'm pressing all the way down. And we've got a beautiful impression. Look at that. Okay, so that's the rose. How do you get the paint off after? Off of this, you just rinse it right off. Comes right off. Okay, so now let's do this one. And sometimes it stains the pad, but that doesn't matter, as long as you rinse it off. And the same with your stamps, your Art Foamy stamps. I will tell you what I found if I'm doing a lot of stamping, or if I'm doing a whole bunch at a time so that it doesn't dry, I'll get like a shallow pan of water and just stick it upside down until I'm done stamping, and then I'll get a little, I'll show you this brush that I have. Okay, I'll just do this one right here. It's just a nail brush. Hi, Mark. So it looks like this. It's a nail brush. And so I use that and just use water to get the paint off. Look at that impression. Nice, right? All right. Let's do this one. So we're just tapping, right? Getting the paint, making sure the paint's covering everywhere we want it to cover. And if it starts to dry out, of course, add some more paint, which I think we may have to add some more paint here. Okay. This one here. Yeah, if it stains it, it's not a big deal as long as you've washed it off. Yeah, that's getting a little light, so let's add some more paint. Yeah, they work really well. And the other thing that I love to use my Art Foamy stamps for is for clay, because they leave a really nice impression because they are so deep. Okay, remember what we don't want is to have it dripping wet on the top, because then it'll get in the crevices of your stamp, and that's what we don't want. Let's do our sunflower. I really do. I don't know what my deal is that I love. I love making these faces in these flowers. I don't know why. I just think they're more fun that way. I mean, not that I don't like flowers, I do. I like them more with faces. So let's put this one. Let's put this one over here. We'll kind of have it hanging off the edge a little bit. The foam boards come with the stamp. There we go. I love that sunflower. You know, and if you know anybody who has painted a sunflower, those leaves take a long time, so it's much faster with a stamp. Much faster. Let's do this one. And I will tell you that I truly do not know, like, I'm not a flower connoisseur type of thing. So I truly do not know the names of the flowers. I just pick a flower, I draw it, I make it into a character, and the flower is born. So don't ask me what they're called, because I don't know. Hi, Rose. Yes, and I do. Jenny is so right. I do dab. I take these and before I clean them, I will dab it onto an art journal page. So I get most of that paint off first. Whoops, I kind of messed that one up, but that's okay. We'll work with it. All right, let's go wipe that part off so I can do the top. And so I'll use them, you know, I'll do them quite a few times, and I'll start a new page. I'll start a new page so that in my art journal with the leftover stamps. So that way, on a different time, I'm not starting from scratch. Oh, I'm gonna put this right here. Let's see if I can get this centered this time. There we go. All right, so let's add a couple more things here. Let's add a couple here. Or, actually, I may leave this blank so that I could add maybe a saying here, but I do feel like it needs like a little edge or something here. So let's do a part of this sunflower. Just like right there, so that it looks more like a pattern, if that makes sense. And so I think I'll leave this blank for a saying. Let's add some leaves. So now I'm going to go in with the aqua flash. I'm just going to try to do it down here on the edge because I don't want to mix. Purple and green together do not mix, you guys. Does not look good together, so don't do it. All right. So again, I'm just spreading. Now, and if you haven't seen this paint before, it's probably kind of hard to tell on the canvas on a video, but the color shift, it has like a metallic hue to it, but it also shifts colors depending on where you stand. So if you're standing, you know, it might look kind of blue, it might look kind of green to you depending on where you're standing. See, like this one I didn't clean very well. I got that really in there. That means I had too much paint in my pad. So, you know, even I make mistakes. All right. So I'm just going to add some leaves. And let's put this up here. There are 2 sets of leaves. You know, it just depends on what you like. Just gonna go more easy here. Right here. Let's flip this. This right here. I'm going to try to keep one up just because I don't want to cover that flower. Let's do it down here. I'll try to do it in here, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so now once this is dry, I can go through and I can add lots of color, lots of, I want to add a lot of color and a lot of glitter and really make it really, really pop. And I want to show you what I mean. So I have some samples for you. We have to let this dry completely before I can do anything else, so that part won't be tonight. But like this one, I just went in and added different colors on the eyes just to make the eyes pop, and a little bit of yellow on top of, like you can see in here, this I did with gelatos, so that's why this has like a softer look versus the paint, right? The paint was orange, the color is gelatos, and then I added a marker for the eyes to make those pop. And let's see. And this is also in the shop. And so in here you can see I stamped it originally with green, and then I went in and painted my different colors, and then I doubled back and I did back on top with black. Some of those things. So you can really take these stamps and make it more of art. That's why they're called, that's why I call them art stamps, because they're not like regular stamps where it looks stamped. It can look like art because you can go in, paint, use markers, whatever you're gonna do. I added little eyelashes with a small pen and a little glitter, of course, because we love glitter. Okay. This is the one that I showed you on the flag, and this one I painted with little, the jelly pens. The jelly pens that are, I think they're called Stardust, and so they have a little sparkle, and you probably can't tell, but this whole thing is sparkly because this has the dragonfly glaze on top of it, and then these were done with the jelly pens. I colored in those areas, but stamped it with the purple, okay? This one, stamped it with the orange, and then I went in with watercolor. So the acrylic paint resists the watercolor, which is really nice. So you can do that. And then I went in, of course, with the black and the white because I wanted her eye to pop. So this is also, and here's the leaves. And this is one of those background pages that I did, that I just stamped the whole page when I was cleaning my stamps. Here's one of their mermaids that are in the shop. I have a couple of mermaids in the shop, and I stamped her with red, and then I went in and filled this in with, this is watercolor, right? Because when you're stamping with acrylic, then when you go over it with watercolor, the acrylic is going to resist. And then I went with a black pen just to outline, some of those areas, the outside. Okay. This one is the sunflower. And again, watercolor, right? Acrylic, stamped with acrylic paint, and then did watercolor, and then I added a marker for the eyes. Here's some of the leaves. Yes, this is part of an ephemera pack. Speaking of ephemera packs, here's one there, and this is also a stamp. Because some of the ephemera packs turned into stamps, which is awesome. So again, stamped both of these with orange, and then went back, painted with watercolor and marker, and did more details with marker and added the black, and the black really makes it pop. Okay, so this is all, both of these are art foamy stamps that I have in the shop. Both of these are art foamy stamps that I have in the shop. But look at the difference. This does not look like a stamped image, right? It looks like, okay, you painted it. So how do you do that? You go in, I did with watercolor the base, and then I turned around some of these areas that were really small. I went in with a marker, and I just filled in some of those areas to make it really pop. And then I went on top with a jelly pen for the white, and then a black to outline my image. So you can take these stamps and really turn them into something else. So I'm just gonna show you really quick before we finish. So these are all the stamps that are in the shop. So we've got the ballerinas, This is the mermaid that you just saw, right? But I had her decorated in the book. This is also the girl, the fairy that you saw that was in orange. This is the first fairy that I showed you. This is a heart wing stamp. This is the rose that we did tonight. So it comes with this center or this center, one of the leaves. This is that little fairy and the moon. I have a cowboy stamp, cowboy boot stamp. This is the cloud from the unicorn. This one's hard to see because I didn't have a lot of paint on here, but this is the wave stamp, and it's really cool because it's just got really funky shapes. And what's good about these, because you see the size of this? I mean, look at my hand and look at this thing. They're really big, and you can use a part of them or the whole thing. This is the candy set, the hot air balloon, and I didn't have a lot of paint on there, but you get the idea. This is the curly hair girl. This is a pair of wings, and just so you know, the wings look great with the fairy. It's the right size with the girls. This is the other girl that you guys saw in the book, finished. This is the other flower. Now, because this one was so small, they went ahead and made 2 stamps. So there are 2 flower stamps in there whole. This one, the face doesn't pop out. Here's the unicorn. Here's the other mermaid that I was talking about. And here I've got these 2 girls, and these 2 girls go with the wings. Now, this girl I do not have in the shop, but you can get these at artfoamies.com. Here's the bird. I have everything else though. Here's a little bird. Here's a flourish. Here's the sunflower that we used, right? Comes with the solid or the face. Same with this one. It comes with this or this for the center. We have the seahorse. This is the first little fairy that I showed you. These are the 2 leaf sets. So there's set A and set B. So similar, but a little bit different. So depending on what you like. And these are the 4 sayings that I have. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, and they are, these are all in the shop. And that's the other flower. So now that our banner is stamped, it's ready to paint. I have to, of course, let it dry completely first so that we can get started on the second part. And so I'm painting in here with some watercolors, with some acrylics, just kind of mixing the different colors. The banner is not gessoed or anything. It's not primed. I'm just painting directly on the surface as it comes and just going along and playing with some colors to make it really pretty and stand out. Now, there is something to be said about laying down paint and picking it up. So I do keep a paper towel handy so that I can pick up some of the color, and it worked out really nicely on this canvas because I was able to do some variations in the flowers just by laying down one color and then lifting some of that color back up and adding lots of depth. So once I've got my color down, I knew that I wanted to add some glitter, of course. We all need a little bit of sparkle. So I grabbed Glitterific and put that on my flowers. I also grabbed some dragonfly glaze that I will use with a little sponge and just getting glitter all over the place. Right now I'm using a palette knife. I don't ever use a paintbrush for the Glitterific because the glitter gets into the bristles and into the base of the brush, and it's really hard to get out, so it kind of ruins the brushes. So you're better off using your finger or a palette knife or a craft stick if you don't have a palette knife and you don't want to use your finger. But it's super easy to use because it comes like a gel, and then you don't have glitter everywhere like you would if you would just be using loose glitter. So right now I'm putting in all my little details, and after I was done doing that, I did stop the video and looked at the whole piece. Because sometimes you have to, look at it at a different angle or stand it up or take a picture of it. And originally I didn't think I wanted a color background, but then I changed my mind and I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So I did add a background to this. I used pan pastels on the background. I used yellow and like blue on the edges so that it would look a little bit greenish, and I really like the way it came out. And then I grabbed this Pebeo acrylic marker to just draw some more little details just to kind of fill it in a little bit, some doodles and some leaves. Now, if you're going to do this outside, right, if you're going to use a flag outside, you definitely want to use acrylics or fabric paint, something that's not going to bleed if it gets wet. For me, it's just a display. It's in the inside of the house. I'm not worried about it. So I was able to use the Glitterific and all these other fun things, watercolor and pastels on my project, and I'm not worried about it getting ruined. But just something to keep in mind if you're going to use this canvas banner outside. So I hope that you liked this video. It was a lot of fun to do, and you will give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will show you the end results right here. I really like the way it came out. I'm super happy with it. I love these stamps. All of these are in the shop now, and I will put the links below so that you can have those. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.